Technology hour for years probably. They always give real estate examples to scare people. I'm sure you've heard that.
We're live. Just
Rocky said you a minute early today.
60-30 up here, but
63. Yeah, we're ready to get into that. She played in it. They don't let us play. You don't get it. I got 2 or 3 invites. I couldn't do it because I'm playing one at River Park Inn, but I said, you asked me earlier, I would. I'm down to get out there. It looks so nice. They got this activity going on. I noticed today they had food truck out there. Yeah. Well, that's it.
It's 5:30, we'll get this meeting started, and you will do the roll call. Please.
Councilman Buchanan,
Here.
Councilman Pate, Councilman Holmes, here, Councilman Wilson, present.
And has everybody looked over the agenda? I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Jackie, if you will lead us in the pledge, and Beth, if you'll lead us in the prayer.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we thank you for all of our many blessings. We take this moment to just be grateful for the place that we live, for the people that we live with, for just all the many blessings you've given us. We pray for wisdom and decision making, and ask that you just lead and guide us tonight and every day as we serve this first time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Mayor Hutz will be on vacation. We'll miss him tonight. But, if you've had a chance to look over minutes for the last meeting, we'll take a motion to approve those.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for last meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And has anybody signed up for public comment? Okay. With that, we're going right along with finance.
Yes. You guys will find a copy of the finance report on this. Wanting to let you know that the second round of the cash flow loan that we approved last week is already set in our bank account. And I've entered that into an interest payment investment account, so in the meantime, we could draw a little more interest on it until we have to get interest. We also received $15,500 from our insurance company. And back in May, we had a pretty big windstorm that hit the park, trees knocked the fence on our Raven Pool Park, and it damaged our pool. So the insurance company was kind enough to give us $15,500 to replace that. It's gonna take every bit of that to replace that full cover. Casey is the brand new owner of the 2025 Equinox today. They delivered it this morning for me. We found that on state contract. We had insurance funds from the storm damage from the 2016 Ford Explorer and the Durango that we lost during the storm. So we received that this morning. They brought it up from Raleigh for us, and he has it tagged and ready to put on the road for his vehicles. We also have 3 FEMA reimbursements that's pending, and they're sitting at the state right now, just waiting for those funds to be dispersed to the town. And I've included those amounts for you. It's a total of $132,503, and that included the Burleson Hill Pump Station, Greenwood Road, in the A&E landslide here at the Spruce-Pine Welcome area. So just waiting for the state to dump those funds in there. And also attached, I printed off funds from FEMA. It's listed the projects as obligated, and then projects that's pending project review or development. As of right now, we've had 9.9 and some change obligated, and some of those are in our account, some of them are still waiting to get there. But you can see those projects listed. I thought it would be just a good idea for you guys to kind of see what those project names were and what the obligated names were. The ones in blue are those that are in project review. So we've got about $4.3 million that's set in project review for FEMA to approve or send back for more information. So 9.9 that's been obligated and 4.3 that's been reviewed. Any questions?
Is any of the ones in your hand yet?
Yes, for those, we've got about 4.8 million of that in hand. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will be short this week tonight. In your packet I gave you, as you can see on our call sheets, this last month, we've had a total of 586. That's probably 150 more than normal. I think we usually have, so we have been extremely busy. I say that every meeting, but it just keeps going up. That means we just, guys are working a lot of hours. Also attached to your packet there, you're going to find the summary, and I'm going to try to do this maybe quarterly or something, but you'll find the summary of drug enforcement, and this is just for the last 2 weeks, okay? This is just 2 weeks working, this drug enforcement, and it's mainly focused on methamphetamine, and in the last 2 weeks, as you can see, we've had 8 felony drug arrests, we've had 21 total drug-related charges, we've seized approximately an ounce in 2 weeks, which is pretty good. Street value on that, if you do $80 per gram, that's going to be close to $2,200 street value. So, we're really working hard on that. Like I said, we was going to. It's everywhere, but we've got just about the problems that anybody else does. But our guys are out working. It never stops. We're never going to stop it, but we'll put a dent in it. Also attached to this is you'll see our K9 report sheet. And the way we'll read this is for Lieutenant Johnson for Tank, his K9. His will be, the totals there will be the totals for his lifetime, which would be 5 years of service. So if you go down there and look, you'll see the amount that he's been part of, is a seizure, all that. And that's since 2019. And if you go over to Officer Gunn's Dog Knox, you'll see since he started late March, early April, the total amount of stops, the citations, the arrests, including those dogs. So, I think it's very important for you guys to understand and know, know, we're putting money into these, resources. I just want you guys to know, what they're going for. It's not wasting money. This is money that, we're using and it's working, okay? It's very important for us to have these things. You cannot beat it all on the side of the road. It's a great asset to have, so. Also, still working on the traffic speeding. It has slowed down a little, so we're going to continue to do that for the next couple of weeks until, until I keep getting these phone calls. So, but everything's running smoothly. We're just staying busy. Any questions on anything?
Camera that was damaged during the lane that we monitored, Eagles, the bridge,
Yes.
up Moore Street. Are we planning on doing anything with that?
It is sitting in our evidence room, and it has been there for a long time.
I think we made a report on that. I'm pretty sure we did. I think
The issue I think we have with that is it's so old that I'm not even sure if it's our last IT guy. It's not here, we're not working for us now. So we ran everything through him. He was the one who set everything up, set the updates up. But I'm sure that camera hasn't been working in a while. We need it. We definitely need it.
I know I know it was damaged during the lane,
Yeah.
and we can get something.
Yes,
I'm
I
sure.
would think. I'll probably have to go back honestly and talk to Dwayne and see, we'll have to go back and look at when we purchased it, who we purchased it from, see about, because even before the storm, there was some issues as far as updates. I think it was, not obsolete, but getting really close because of age. So that's something I'll look into, and hopefully by next week, I'll have you an update on that. Ma'am?
Through all your eyes, are you seeing that more in neighborhoods, or is that out and about in the business areas?
It's everywhere. I mean, honestly, I can't say one particular area, but, it's a tough time right now for people, but it seems like with the people that deal with drugs and likes to transport it and stuff like that, and then stop. And it's all over in town. It's Mitchell County, town, and then this whole area is full of it. And, we're gonna keep getting them. I mean, they gotta get lucky every time. We gotta get lucky once. So, but we're not gonna stop working. That's the thing. I'm big on the drugs. I'm big on, that's what I want. These boys know, if I'm gonna push anything, it's gonna be that. So, continue to do it. All right. Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Stevens, you're here with the water and sewer.
About that.
Donnie is not, he's on vacation. Travis, you want to add the screw press update for your stuff?
I can.
Okay.
You're next.
I can.
Add that to it.
Okay. As you see, what you got there for work orders, okay, it came down some, but it was really a little bit. Still got plenty going on. Got engineers working on the Valley Road storm drain. Everybody's probably heard a little bit about that. They should be done with their drawings shortly and we'll be ready to jump on the plane with that. Sunnybrook ground pavement has been patched back from replacing the culvert. Engineered drawings for Elm Street have been completed. Hopefully be putting that out to bid here shortly. I think we got to do a cost analysis on that before we put it out to bid.
How far was that?
Elm Street with animals.
Yes.
Force main line from Carter's Ridge to Burleson Hill Pump Station was broken by debris removal crew. That was some fast work to put back together. My guys are not afraid to put waders on and jump in the creek to fix a lot. Yeah. Trimmed out sidewalk from Metro News Journal to Oak Avenue intersection. Don't think anybody's noticed, there's a lot of work going on down at the park. Got all that coordinated, got them in there. Fixing the drainage, grading, should start seeding this week and hopefully get some grass growing nice and fast. Still wide open with HCA. I don't feel like that's gonna slow down anytime soon. And then just keeps having questions. You know, that Huber, the manufacturer of the screw press this morning in the waste plant, I think we've devised a plan that's going to work. It's going to take a little bit of time and some coordination to make it happen between us, Garney, Big Energy, everybody kind of work together on it, and everything happened at one time. So hopefully that'll work out. Met with Sanford Electric today at the River Pump Station, test fired, one pump got hit on, and we were working on the second pump, and they were having some technical difficulties as far as timers and valves. I hadn't heard anything back from them this evening, but should hear something back from them tomorrow. SCADA is, I'm gonna say about 85% complete up there. So once SCADA is completely done, where they can remotely operate it all from the plant, then we'll be ready to fire up. Army Corps, their people is still up there. They've extended that contract to help us out through August 31st. So they'll still be up there till then. The main reason that I wanted them up there up until that point was to give us a week or two running ours, just to make sure we didn't have any hiccups, no problems. If we did, then they could fire it right back up and pick up where they left off. But they're going to be up there at least that long. So that's all I've got. Got my life thing on budget. That's it so far.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Any questions from you?
The grass gonna grow in the park? The grass gonna grow?
We're hoping.
It's special grant.
It's special grass.
So there's a side that wasn't gonna grow, is it gonna grow?
Yeah, that all got straightened out last week. Everybody got the natural wood on that side. They probably a lot of wood out there. Probably gonna catch some slack because part of the walking trail is gone. But we had to remove that side of it to get drainage from the center back down towards the river. When they get done, they are going to put a gravel walking path back in for this moment in time until we get some plans on what we're going to do in the future. So, we'll see if I can help my crew do it now. So, well, I think I've got at least 3 fire departments lined up to help us out this season. That works. So, get it back full as quick as we can.
Thank
See
you.
y'all later.
Thank
Yep.
you. Making sure you're there.
So we had a good month last month. We of course had our third Thursday event. Had a little weird weather where it was raining, then it wasn't raining, and it was raining, and it wasn't. So attendance was still pretty good, but it wasn't the best that we had downtown. But we got another one coming up this Thursday, 17th. We got William Reader, local musicians will be playing. It's always a great gig. I'm also excited about that. We're doing a holiday planning. We're talking with Kelly from the TDA. Christmas planning seems to happen earlier than every year. But we're meeting about that and discussing some ideas to kind of feel a little more Christmassy around here. We meet downtown on a part of that experience. Big bit of this month has been planning for the North Carolina Elevator Festival. So of course our big thing coming up is 1 week later, weekend, August 30th. We announced the lineup for bands on social media this past weekend. We're already looking at about 26,000 views on that post. We made another one later that week, and that was already at about 16,000. So we have some traction online, which is good. We just got to translate it into actual people in downtown and people spending money. I got our band lineup there. We're going to start there with the children's musician, Billy Jonas, who's in Asheville. Then we got Sammy Osmond, the big band coming out from Boone. And then our kind of big hitters are local hunters to our larger group out of Eastern Kentucky. And then our headliner is River Wireless, who is a folk band out of Asheville. And we'll get some good attention for that. Our website is live at elevatorfestival.com. Mostly right now, it's just kind of vendor information and sponsor information, and as we solidify the rest of the schedule, it'll get updated as we go. We're continuing to look for sponsors. If you know anyone who wants to give us some money, please let me know. I had a meeting with Andrew Brewer last week about the event as well. Talking with the county about we'll need to use the generator and lights and get an emergency and everything together. And we're meeting with our fire guys hopefully later this week or next week. On the other side, and a really fun one for us where we went from 2 employees at downtown Spruce Pond to 5. So we got a CNF grant to hire Carter Norris as a program coordinator, and we'll have her with us until November 1. And then NC Works called us and said, hey, I'm on for a couple of summer interns, and that's what we can use it. That's what we got to figure it out. So we hired 2 interns who will be with us for the summer. And I had them help us out. Helping Festival but also does a program of their own. So Sophia, one of our interns today, had glitter guarded, where you come down with your nails on and hand tinsel and all that stuff in the park today. And then Brady, our other intern, is starting up a 60 Dungeons and Dragons campaign in the visitor center. It's going to start tomorrow. He's pretty stoked about that. We're pretty excited about it too. We of course had our July 5th Independence Day celebration. That was a great time. The community, I think, really enjoyed us actually doing something downtown for the event other than the parade. Having the street closed down was great, so we come down and do really good. I would call it like a 4-dimensional view of fireworks. So a couple of times there, which was really cool. The only kind of thing that came up from that was a lot of the restaurants were really overrun. The Thai restaurant was on 1 hour wait, Tropical Grill shut down 2 hours early. So maybe next year, we might put a couple more food trucks down there. Then of course next year we'll have some more restaurants open. So we'll see. Last week I was up in Northern Virginia at the Blue Ridge Rising Summit, which will come ambassador for that program. I also got to serve on a panel discussing how communities can navigate parkway road closures, whether it be hurricanes or just regular maintenance. So it was great to kind of represent Spruce Pond. It was really cool hearing so many of the speakers talking about Spruce Pond. We got a lot of attention there, which was really, really great and nice to hear. And then this past Saturday, our downtown beautification committee went downtown. Flo, Reed, and Katie works for us went downtown. We look around the caboose right now. It's partially we need to want the rest of it out. It's just been hot recently. But that's what I'm on. We're rocking and rolling. Some questions?
Comments done with the rerouting Parkway, Dragon Yard?
Good. Blue Parkway Foundation finally announced that thing I was talking about for months, the detours of discovery they're calling it. It'll be an ArcGIS story map. So it'll be fully online and also downloadable. We're currently putting together itineraries for each region of the closure. They've put a lot of attention on us because I don't know if you all saw the Bridge Parkway closure map that came out. We are in a TBD area, which is a little scary because it's just a little scary. We're looking at 2 or 3 years until those Switzerland's and Mountain Shores open again. It's going to be a long time. I think the next fall for those Switzerland North, so hopefully we get some traffic that way. But the visual discovery should help out with that. People will be able to get it on their phone. And then, for instance, they're listing 10 things that people can do in the Spruce Pond community so that people who are detouring there and find easy things to do. So that should be launching very soon.
I know that the orchard is really promoting Spruce Pine also.
Yes.
And we probably should reciprocate that.
Absolutely. Same one talking about that a whole lot. He was at the conference with me. They just shouted about how we're going to kind of navigate that. Same thing with the Switzerland and the Switzerland community. It's sticking at it hard to get. You know, I've said it a lot of times, with that visitor count, I don't know if it's less than that, they're up in 300,000 cars a year, or 300,000 people a year. That's a lot of stores in my try to translate it from here. I never try to find it. I don't feel like I somehow. But we're going down the other end. That's great because when we close again for more construction. So yeah, we're in the tough spot as far as out the Rex, what it is. A lot of people are talking about it, a lot of people don't have. So we just want to keep using those resources and keep trying to find where that is.
So any presence at the Mineral Engineering Museum? And that's not.
Just the Parkway presence. I don't know if the chamber's currently staffing it or not. We're still in discussions on, the TVA board, and we're still talking about all of that and the funding for it. Just tough. Every organization doesn't have that funding for everything they need to do. So it's certainly difficult. But I know the TVA will eventually take over the Mountain Visitor Center as well if we're injured by this. That one's going to be a lot cheaper than the Meadow Visitor Center. And the Mountain Forest is pretty much easier to work with the National Park Service.
With all this going on. Make headway.
Yeah, the helping the best we can get to kind of like get into this sort of groups and those discussions with like the Forest Service and National Park Service and kind of talk with them a little bit more about trying to get them in and talk about those detours because the National Park Service just really far through that. I would recommend them last week, second, some sort of like gateway community support that we want to see what that looks like. Or at least they're talking about it, I guess.
Parkway Fire Department's looking for a huge mineral festival this year, driving on our theirs. So that's gonna be a big drive. Thank you, man. Mike's not here, so you don't forget the water.
Yeah, Mike is, I got his, I can give a couple of overviews of his updates, but he is at the pool. We've had some, temporary closure repairs we're doing tonight. And we're trying to pull down in the weekend. We'll make some plaster repairs, they're going on right now. And we got tanker trucks lined up to refill the pool so that, when we go tomorrow. So this is what we do. We do things all through the middle of the night so we don't have a disruption in services. We have swim lessons start tomorrow, so that'd be fun. I'm not going to go through his general day-to-day operations. We know what he does: clean the restrooms in parks and towns, mowing. Looks like he worked through with HGA on getting the stuff for the culvert pipes that were needed for our FEMA grant stuff. And his June reservations so far are 35. And then his big month of June, a lot of the stuff was just getting the pool open and ready, going, which was his inspections, his stuff for the baby pool and all that stuff. But the programming he's got going, his water aerobics started this month. They're on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 10. So they know wants to do water aerobics. Swim lessons, those will start tomorrow and run through 24. And he's sourced one more lifeguard, one more pool staff, so that's good. And then he I think I gave us an update last month as well, but maybe I did. But anyway, he's also talked and coordinated with the North Carolina Wildlife, Fish and Wildlife for the stocking of this section of the River. So they will stock here in town for a delayed harvest this year. So I've got that same confirmation. So that's good. So that's what Mike's got going on now.
I'm just glad you continue on your next.
Yeah, there you go. Just run through a few things here. We released an RFQ today for the wastewater treatment plant. That's an advertisement for bids for the design, the cost estimation, engineering,
and what would eventually be the construction administration for the permanent repairs and fix to the wastewater treatment plant. So, those RFQs are live, and we're going to take bids, and then we'll bring those, eventually coming to council, 3 finalists will come to council for the final recommendation. We'll bring the 3 finalists with the recommendation, basically. So that'll be coming up. We are wrapping up the details on another RFQ for both Riverside Park and River Bend Park. We're estimating to advertise those hopefully by the end of the week, and get for the same stuff for design, engineering, cost estimation services to build the parks back, both Riverside and River Bend Park. So FEMA is going to require all these services as well. Everything we do to build these things back might have engineered plans and firm costs and all that kind of stuff. So and so I got some updates from last council meeting. One of those was a request to draft a resolution for the hospital. Just an update on that. We've looked into the hospital here in Spruce Pine, because I know that whatever related to the federal bill, Big Beautiful bill, whatever, and some other things, a lot of information started floating around that the hospital's going to close down because of that bill. That's not true. They're on an obligated contract for 10 years, and there's still 3 years left on that contract to keep that hospital open. So at a minimum, that hospital is not going to close for 3 years. Now, obviously, that's a for-profit hospital. It's got a partner, or it's got a overarching medical lease on it and different things. So what changes in the future, we don't know. We do have a fairly large community medical complex being built in Grassy Creek, those kinds of things, but I don't know. So I can't speak on what they will do in the future, but I just know for now, to 3 years, that the hospital's going to be here. Another one was House Bill 205. That was kind of guised as the pool bill. That's related to zoning stuff that was a concern. That bill has been tabled indefinitely, and Chad and I both looked into that a little deeper. That has actually been tried to be passed a couple times under different, they try to stick it under a different bill or whatever. So until they come up with another creative way, that bill's tabled. So nothing there. A little grants update. Overall grants we're trying to work on outside of all the FEMA grants. SRF funds, state recurring funds. We are scoping projects. I've got Wizard of Ravenel. I've got the Council of Governments all scoping projects that are unrelated to Helene. So what I'll say is a kind of a blanket statement here. There's been lots of concerns and questions from like the community and different folks, and of why aren't we applying for grants, or where can we use this money, and that other money? And I've told all of our state representatives the same message, is that the timing is just very untiming, because we have roughly 77 projects with FEMA to reconcile. And until we get those fully obligated and funded, if we go for any subsidized funding or supplemental funding, FEMA will deduct that from what we get from them. So there's just a little bit of a cat and mouse game we're having to play between those Helene impacted projects that are certainly viable for these grants, but then at the same time being able to get the max FEMA dollars. We don't want to jeopardize that. So but I am looking at several other unrelated projects to Helene, from water. These are all infrastructure grants for the most part. So the SRF funds are very attractive dollars. Those are $5 million, 100% principal, and then after $5 million, it's only 75%. It's 75% principal for that, so it's only 25% obligation for interest. So those are very attractive things. We're looking at
Water tank projects to supplement the 226. We're looking at galvanized water line replacement. We're just looking at several things with Withers Ravenel doing a lot of work on water and sewer mapping. So they've got a lot of data to be able to tell us all this stuff. So that we are working on that. Same with the small biz grants. Those were another DEQ issue grants. It was, those are dollars that have been made available until they're gone. I've had residents come in asking, and that grant's been brought up a lot. Same thing. It's just a matter of identifying a project that we can jump on. For that grant, that's all infrastructure related to small businesses. We're looking at some stormwater projects downtown, some different things, but one of our challenges is that, ordinarily, you would see, with towns and cities, you would see like a full capital improvement program. So you'd see a whole roadmap of what you need 5 years, 10 years down the road, and those would have a list, and have sort of a little bit of preliminary engineering done, and have a little bit of preliminary cost estimation, and you do a little more of what you kind of call geared toward shovel-ready projects, which a lot of these grants want. We don't have that, so we're really having to start, from scratch on a lot of this stuff, and it just takes a little extra time to get that stuff together, identify the project, and then look at what the costs are for potential shovel ready. But on the bright side, the ARC grant that we have applied for and put in for, I should hear something by the end of the month is what I was told on whether that will be awarded, and that's for the Burleson Hill Pump Station here, and that is a supplement to the existing EDC and Golden Leaf grant that we've got already awarded for the 226 water line. So that's to kind of marry to that piece of the puzzle. And then the other funds we're going for, like SRF, also state appropriation funds. I've met with Congressman Edwards and Nice about direct appropriation funds too, especially the elevated water storage tank. That'd be for the Grassy Creek area. And so hear about that hopefully by the end of the month. The AIA projects that are also grants we already got, those are the sewer and water mapping projects I spoke about. We're looking at probably a ETA of the end of the year of having that project fully wrapped up, having a full comprehensive water and sewer mapping on GIS available for the town. So that'd be a really nice asset. So on grants, that's kind of the whole kit and caboodle there. We're really centering a lot of focus on the whole Grassy Creek area. As you're aware, we're on wells out there, and we know those wells aren't going to last forever. So the partnership with Mitchell County Health Partners for their project out there, there's a land donation that's been offered up that we're looking to pursue, and that would be a potential site for an elevated water tank to supplement the one on the cemetery here. So those all be kind of just puzzle pieces to help bring our infrastructure to be more robust for the Grassy Creek and the development that's without question going to come. On zoning stuff, our first zoning steering committee meeting was last week and went very successful. Went through the first 2 chapters. I'm happy to say we got a very dynamic team of folks together that's focused on regearing that project, regearing our zoning. And so we're off to a good start on that. So as we continue to develop things and sort of solidify those chapters, we'll be bringing those forward and sharing that information. Also just to bring to attention that I'm aware, I'm trying to find out where resolves are, but I realize there are a lot of downtown businesses that are being affected by water related to storm issues and drainage. It's a hard card. I mean, the town has, its responsibilities, but, property owners have responsibilities too, but we're trying to be good partners and stewards in helping identify where these issues are. That's why I mentioned the one grant. Big focus is a storm project to try and build up a better storm management program for the downtown areas, but some of those businesses on Locust that are jammed between an alleyway and the bottom of the hill, that's tough. Those are tough situations where you got basically subterranean spaces that are below such, high water marks, and within that range for getting. Friday's rain was 2 inches of rain in 15 minutes. I mean, what do you do with that? That it's a lot of water in a very short period of time. I mean, I was at the YMCA and it was a complete gully washer over there. Our town crews went over there and spent all morning, sweeping streets, filling potholes, cleaning out ditches, making everything just so, all for it all to just be washed right back out right before everybody shows up. So it was literally in vain, and it's just very aggravating. So we sympathize with business owners, and we're in the same pressures that they are. But I just want to let you all know that I am aware, and I am trying to help figure out, ways that we can reconcile situations and figure out where the issues stop and start, between the property owner and between the town's responsibility. So that's step number one, is figuring out where the problems are. But last thing is I'm going to a dinner tomorrow night at Sudoku Foundation, good partnership meeting to discuss future projects, future collaborations with them, and that was a welcome invitation. So I'll see where that goes. But other than that, if you guys have any questions, I'm trying to answer them.
We have thought that we can advertise for a code enforcement officer, is that going to?
On those, I was going to, so I guess that's one other update. Our compensation classification study stuff is all done, and she will be here at the next council meeting, July 28th, to present, and we'll discuss that information. So, but as far as the code enforcement zoning position, she's been helping me put the job description together, the job grade. We kind of got all that, I think, but and then the only thing else I was kind of hanging on is we're still kind of looking at some office space, options. I think we've got some things, but we're going to have to build some shelves, do a little housekeeping, house cleaning, shuffling, and kind of moving a few things around. So, but we're migrating in that direction of advertising that position soon.
Any progress on the streets project that was started?
Yeah, interesting little, that grant was, it was an odd grant. I swear it's through like the Department of Agriculture or something strange like that. But for whatever reason, the grant was awarded, and for a period of time, there was an extension requested that was before Helene. I don't know the reasons that the extension was requested, but so the project wasn't finished at that deadline. They gave that extension, and then Helene hit. And so then obviously nothing has happened with the project still since those initial, questionnaires and public feedback. I think they got that far. However, I have reached back out to the director of that program to ask if we can have another extension, because it expires in basically in this month. So if they extend it, then I think we can finish it. If they don't, for whatever reason, then we may have to figure something else out with Withers and Ravenel on how to maybe at least clean up what they've got and make it at least what they've got work. I will say where they are at, we've got some. We've got like a couple conceptual plans. We've got, the survey data. We've got, we've got a few meat potatoes. It's just not organized completely real nice on the plate to present. I just got to find out if they're going to extend, allow us to finalize those dollars. So, but that's on the list and, making it a priority too, because we want to use, that would be beneficial to use some of that data to try and put some of this grant stuff, or especially related like storm and stuff and, you know, things like that. And whether suggesting maybe some sidewalk changes and some other, you know, planter gardens and other little things that can reduce some of the impervious surfacing, things like that. Ultimately help with stormwater management. So,
Any other council issues, anything else? Yes, thank you for that.
Another question, the RFQs, is that like the other projects where we have to have so many bids? If we don't have three, we have to have.
Well-
Other than usual, because of the-
no, I mean, it'd be the same, it's the same procurement process with the state. So they don't require anything more egregious. I mean, obviously, the more bids we get, the better. So that's what we're striving for. I feel pretty confident we're going to get some pretty good responses on these projects. These are some pretty heavy-handed projects. So I think you're going to, between Tyson's crew and all the resources they have, that they work with, I have quite a few resources. I'm emailing to many firms directly, which is totally fine. It's public bid, it's on the website, it's going to the state's procurement website. So all the places that they're used to seeing, you know, of course, we have like the locale preferences and some of the other things, but still, I think we'll probably get a decent response out of these projects. They're pretty good size. So.
Anything else? Thank you, everybody good? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We will be adjourned.
Still on your.
Yeah.
I said, just go out there and speak to Ronnie. He said, I can do that little one. I said, yeah, they'll be in the hospital. Broke leg, something. I can do that.